This is a presentation on how to make printable, customized healing abutments without the need for a tight base. Step number one, wax up the missing teeth as pontics. If you have existing teeth, trim them off the model and wax them up as pontics. Then you're going to export, save to file, and you're going to export your wax up using the original coordinates of the system. The wax up of the pontics could be done in Exocad, or it could be done in the Blue Sky Bio software as well. Then we're going to import our model into the CBCT and correlate our STL models of the patient's mouth with the CBCT. We're going to determine the anatomical landmarks and map our mandibular nerves. Then we're going to import the wax up into the Blue Sky plan and correlate that to our jaw. So we have imported our wax ups. We have made them visible in our screen. We need compatible systems that have a good sound library in Exocad. So our implant system that we're going to use in this case is going to be the Norris system. We're just looking for the connection that we want and similar length and diameter to what we're going to use. So Norris has an excellent library, and their connection is an internal hex that could be compatible with the legacy system, implant direct legacy system, 3.5 or 4.5 millimeter platforms. So we're selecting in this case our implants based on that Norris. Now, Blue Sky has excellent, very robust library in the Blue Sky plan, but it's not as robust in Exocad. Whereas Norris has a very robust library in Exocad and Blue Sky plan. We need compatible. Our abutment that we're selecting is going to be from the Norris system, and it's going to be the scan body internal hex, and I like to use long abutments. So that is what we're selecting. So now we have our wax ups, our implants that are placed, and we have our scan bodies selected. Start our abutment. So now we have our wax ups, our implants that are placed, and we have our scan bodies selected. Okay, now, and we also have our upper jaw for our occlusion. Right, now we're going to export everything. So we have export data, and we don't really need to export the nerves, but we're exporting the implants, the abutments, the upper jaw, lower jaw, and our pontics. We're going to export them as individual files. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to replace our abutments that are right now a internal scan body internal hex, right? We're going to change it for either an atomic or a wide abutment, straight abutment. I really like the if I'm gonna do a healing abutment, probably the anatomic is a good one to do. Or choose a shoulder one. Let's go with the anatomic. And these are the different gingival heights that we have. This is not necessarily what's in the exocad software, but this is the abutment that we're going to use. And we replace those for all our implants. We're going to select those abutments. All right. And now we're going to export in export data. We're only going to export our new abutments. We're not going to export anything else. We're going to export our abutments. In our folder, we have our implants, 1, 2, and 3. We have our upper jaw, our lower jaw, our pontics, and we have 2 abutments. One is our healing abutment, one is our actual abutment, prefab abutment, the other one is our impression post. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to merge our lower jaw. We're going to append our impression posts, which in the Norris system they're labeled as C. 903 is the 13 millimeters, so here we have our impression post. So we're going to click, shift, and left click on each one and the model, and we're going to combine them. And now we're going to export that into the same folder that we came from. We're gonna name that lower jaw with scan bodies. And we're going to save our project. Merge. And go into our Exocad software. We're going to create our project. So our new project is called Healing Abutment. Right? And the teeth number are 19. Right? We're going to put an anatomic wax up now. We're going to 3D print it. It's going to be screw retained. The scan body is in the main scan. And we're going to scan our wax up. So we do that. We can control left click for number 20 and the same for number 30. We save our project. And now we can design our project. We have to create an anatomic wax-up. I'm sorry, it's not an anatomic crown, it's an anatomic wax-up. So let's erase anatomic crown, it's an anatomic wax-up. It's a big difference because the anatomic wax-up allows us to bring in our already made Pontic wax-ups. The anatomic crown, we have to make it from scratch and it's a different workflow. Can go into our Exocad software. So this is regularly how I attached implant crowns. This is my workflow for designing implant crowns. I first design a Pontic, and then I fit the Pontic to my high base. It's asking us to load our lower jaw scan, which is the lower jaw scan with the scan bodies, right? It's asking us for our wax up, so our wax up is the Pontic wax up of 19, 20, and 30. It's asking us for the antagonist, which is our upper jaw. We're selecting which side is up. And now we go to the library. So for tooth number 19, right, we have our scan body. So we're going to select the Norris library from our library of parts. Again, this is for the Implant Direct Legacy series, which is an internal hex. It's compatible with the Zimmer TSV. So it's the Norris internal hex. The scan body that we used was this 2039, and now we have a choice to select our abutment, whether we want a tall healing collar, 2 3 millimeters, or this anti-rotational, means engaging, or a 0.7. Let's go with the 2 millimeter height. We select where our best fit matching for our abutment is. That's in the right spot. And we do the same thing for tooth number 20. And we can do the same thing for tooth number 30, but you have to select where the part of that abutment is. Okay. No need to draw an emergence profile because we're going based on our wax up of our Pontic. So we waxed up a full contour restoration. That's why there's no need to wax up our emergence profile here. Now the software is putting it together. We can load up our jaw scan. And I like to darken this so I can see. Right, so this is our wax up. Now we see here that there's a little bit of spacing. I don't know if that's the way that we want our emergence profile. If we want to change that, we can start modifying that in our preforming. We can add a little bit of material. Let's say we wanted our crown to come in without that concavity, and then we can smooth it out. Right, so we call it a number 30 because it's in the position of 30, but because of the spacing, it does not have the space for number 30. Now here we can add a little bit of material here to reduce that spacing, that black triangle. And we can't go beyond the contact space, otherwise that crown is not going to go in the mouth. So here we have our emergence profile for number 30, right? We're working now on the other teeth. This is the smoothing tool. And maybe a little bit too much here. We can use our smooth tool. We can also use our add tool, right? For example, this one. If we wanted a different emergence profile, we can choose a smaller gingival height to give us more of a transition here. If we don't want this to flare up that much, all right, to kind of avoid that popsicle appearance, we can go with a smaller healing collar here, not at 2 millimeter, but something smaller. And that will allow us to make for a smoother transition. Let's see how this turns out. So this is how I adapt always my crowns. It's much easier to do it this way than to go directly from the crown, implant crown module. It's much easier to do it this way. Now here we have a little bit too much of a jump, so I'm going to go into my expert module, and I'm going to select that implant, and I'm actually going to change the part that I have here, right? Instead of the 2 millimeter height, I'm going to go with a 0.7 millimeter height. And do the best fit matching, and you see how now I have a much smaller collar. So now I can start to develop a better emergence profile. So it depends on how thick your gingiva is and how buried that implant is and how much room you have. You can go with the different healing colors, right? In this case, the 2 millimeter healing color was a little bit too tall, and it didn't allow me the room for my emergence profile. So I'm fitting it now with my the 0.7 millimeters. So I have a lot more room to play with and develop a more progressive taper on this crown. But if you try to do this directly on anatomic crown, it's very difficult. This part, if you've ever done it in anatomic crown, you'll know that it's a lot easier to do it this way that we're doing it. Now we use our add and smooth tool to give us a smoother transitioning profile here. So we add and we smooth. And again, this is the same thing that I would be doing whether these are temporary crowns or they're my healing abutments, or they're my permanent crowns. I will be doing the same thing. Using my smooth tool here. Alright, so we can see how my crown is coming out of the gum. And I can start developing that emergence profile. Now I may not like this, so I'm gonna add some. I'm deficient in this part here. Mm-hmm. And you can spend infinite amounts of time on these parts, right? Up to you how much time you want to spend. So you see the difference now when I do the contour? It's a much smoother transition. It's going to be sublingually, so I can start contouring my tissue. Okay. So once I'm happy with my my contours, I go next, and the software is going to create the access hole, and it's going to merge the restorations. Now, it's really important that we save the crowns in the original position related to the scan. If I go next here, it's going to save the crowns in a position that is related to the print or the mill. So what I want to do is, before I get to that point, I want to save it manually. So I have to reopen my software. So before I close out, I'm going to go to the expert module, and I'm going to click on the restriction. I'm going to put right click and save to file. Okay, now I'm going to look for the file that I have my and I'm going to label it number 19. Use original coordinate system. Then I click on number 20. And I don't want to label it the same as I have the other ones. Use original coordinates, and this is number 30. So now we're done with our exocad. And we have number 19, number 20, and number 30. So now we open up number 19 in our mesh mixer. And if we wanted to print this crown, this is a crown that's ready to be printed, and we can adapt it to the tie base that we have. But I wanna do this as a printed crown without a tie base. So I'm going to select, that was number 19, which is abutment. So now I have an abutment and the crown. Correct? So now what I can do is I can if I want to smooth out this connection part, I can do that. So I go to my sculpt tool, I go to my brushes, and I can smooth that out. And I can also do that, with a drill or something. But I can do this right now on my mesh mixer and smoothing out the connection. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the abutment, click on the crown. I'm going to combine them, and I'm going to make them solid. So now I get accurate. I'm going to do accurate, and the solid accuracy, I'm going to move it all the way. I'm going to update that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to import my jaw model. And I'm going to perform a plane cut to the level of the gingiva. So I'm going to go to edit, plane cut, and I'm going to do a plane cut to the gum line here. Right, and I'm going to accept that. And this is like what the software has done here. It has given me a screw retained healing abutment. I do the same thing for the premolar now. And I can always finish them with a high speed or a slow speed and trim them accordingly in the mouth and polish them so that they're not so extended beyond the contour of the gum. So this is our customized healing abutment, ready to print. And we have